Welcome to the Baku City Circuit, where free practice for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is about to get underway. This is a technical circuit which will nonetheless see some huge speeds with a near flat-out final sector that's twice the length of Shanghai's back straight. Let's see who can find the right balance in their setup today. Anthony Davidson is here as usual to help take us through the action. And I've seen some questions on social media and other places about this current crop of F1 cars and why they're so much faster now, despite being significantly heavier than the previous generations of machines. Take us through that one.
I'd be happy to, Crofty. And simply put, it's a matter of grip. Now, that comes from two sources. You have what we call mechanical grip, which comes from the surface of the tyre sticking to the road. And these tyres are significantly wider now when compared to previous years, so they have the potential for more mechanical grip. Then you have the downforce, of course, which pushes the car into the road as the air moves over it, thus generating grip. And these cars have about 20% more downforce, which is more than enough to overcome the added weight.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode in my F1 2017 career mode here today around Azerbaijan. Obviously if you missed the last episode, please do go check it out. There'll be a card annotation or something, or in the end slate as per usual. But if you did miss it, then spoilers, I won the Canadian Grand Prix. I still can't believe that happened, but you know, going through the normal motions here in practice, you know, doing all the normal programs, and coming to the end of the practice programs now with the race strategy. I will now hand over to Emma to tell us who our new rival is.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Welcome to qualifying in the Republic of Azerbaijan. The teams are making their last-minute adjustments before the lights go green, and the fight for pole position can get underway. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
So here we are then, starting our flying lap here in qualifying. Unfortunately I only managed to get one lap in because of traffic basically. So as we're now coming up to the line here, where did we qualify for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? I don't know, but let's find out.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Bottas, Vettel and Felipe Massa. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
So it's last. Not the best qualifying, but hopefully we can have a good race then here in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So I will now hand over to Crofty to introduce you to the race.
Here we are then at what is without doubt the fastest street circuit on the Formula One calendar for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson joins me today as we look ahead to something just a little bit different. It's quite high speed for a street circuit here, isn't it? Do you think that's going to throw up any unexpected situations?
Well, as long as the teams can keep everything cool, I don't foresee any particular big issues from a technical side of things. I do expect the track to be quite slippery though. We've not exactly had much chance to rubber in the surface. Any street circuit also comes with its own challenges, so I think we'll be seeing a few mistakes here and there. The smart strategy would be to expect a safety car, I think, especially early on when the pack is bunched up.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The fence starts from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Massa, Hamilton, Lance Stroll and Ricciardo, Verstappen, Perez, Grosjean and Nico Hülkenberg, Palmer, Ocon, Kevin Magnussen and Sainz, Ericsson, Alonso, Kimi Raikkonen and Stoffel van Dorn. Wehrlein and a Toro Rosso rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, top 15 is what we expect from you today. See if you can bring home the result we want.
So Jeff wants me to get top 15 in this Grand Prix, which I think is doable. Obviously putting the fuel up quite a bit because, you know, Azerbaijan tends to use a lot of fuel. So here we are then, there's the race strategy, one stop as per usual, super softs onto softs, and let's get into the formation lap then. So hope you all enjoyed the last episode, because I certainly did, you know, first win of our F1 2017 career. Hopefully there'll be many more in this career mode, well I hope so anyway, when we eventually move to a bigger team or do some with Toro Rosso, who knows. I might move to a bigger team if Toro Rosso aren't very good. But you know, who knows? You know, with the new R&D stuff, you never know. So here we are then, going around on the formation lap, lining up onto the grid. Also, sorry about the weird shadows. It's just the game engine glitching out again as per usual. Lining up on the grid now for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix as we wait for the 5 red lights now to come on. Here they are. We've got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. It's 5 lights. Lights out, and where we go here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Have got off to a relatively good start. Alonso has just, or Van Dorn, sorry, has just completely not bothered to go, and Raikkonen's down here for some reason. I don't know why, but we're right behind Raikkonen as we dive it down the inside of Raikkonen. Maybe, well, we poke our nose in, and these new curves around Azerbaijan really do unsettle the car quite a bit. So you really don't want to get on them, as we now have a slipstream fest going on in front of us, and we now dive it down the inside of 2 cars, maybe 3, no, just 2, and that's another 2 places made there for me, and we almost go into the back of, is that Wehrlein? No, Ericsson, sorry, and luckily we just about avoided him. We actually turned it into an overtake, and it's still side by side into this chicane, and we just about managed to get Ericsson there for 15th place, so somehow that's only 5 places made up, but cutting on now to lap 2 in the same area of the track. We had a Haas going for a move on a Renault there on Palmer, I think that is. He was being alert on a street circuit. He wasn't being alert enough when I came alongside him, and that is another position made for me in this Grand Prix. So now that's P13 in the Grand Prix. As we now cut on to the end of lap 3, going into lap 4, we now have DRS and Hülkenberg. We're gaining on and gaining. Look at the slipstream we've got, and we now come out of the slipstream, go out ahead of him, and we're now just about ahead of him. He touched us a little bit there, and we are now ahead of him, and we're now up into P12. So somehow all that action only means we're up into P12. But now, moving on to the next lap, we now have Kimi Raikkonen, who's making his way through the field. It's just driving past us basically because he's in a faster car. I didn't really feel like battling him because he's in a faster car, and it would be pointless, you know. So I let him go through. You know, let him do his own race, try and keep onto the back of him. But unfortunately we couldn't, and we now have Hülkenberg coming back at us now with DRS. Obviously the same engine, but I think they've made an engine upgrade, Renault, in this career mode, so I don't know. But he's overtaken us now. We're going to dive it down the inside. I'm not going to do what I did to Raikkonen and give him the place up easily. We dived it down the inside, squeeze him out onto the left, on the right hand side, just about. And we're now, he's given us a tap in the back there. We've ran wide a little bit, and we're now under the cosh now against Nico Hülkenberg, and we're now coming down this straight now. He's gone past us, he's cut in front of us now. We're going to dart to his inside. We've outbroken ourselves, and we're out of the race.
Are you okay?
Yep, that happened. We are now out of the Grand Prix. Basically, what happened was that I outbraked myself, and I was changing down the gears too fast as well. So, unfortunately, that's us out of the Grand Prix. Obviously, there's a replay there. And yeah, that's us out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. So yeah, let's see the final race results then, shall we?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result for Valtteri Bottas, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I think it's got to be Kimi Raikkonen. He's not always spectacular, but he quietly gets the job done, and that's the case today.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time, though, goodbye.
So unfortunately then, retiring from a Grand Prix there. Obviously, well, we're still in 7th, luckily. We're level on points with Sergio Perez. And in the constructors then, we're still luckily in 5th place. We're level on points with Force India as well. So this has been an interesting battle between Toro Rosso and Force India this season, looking forward. And unfortunately their Sauber still no points. But after that Grand Prix I realised that we were really slow in a straight line. So I decided to get an engine upgrade for the next Grand Prix, hopefully. And yeah, if you did enjoy this episode, I'm sorry it wasn't a very long race, I'm sorry. But if you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.